they found a bunch of those in my car.
No shit.
And the battery lasts for like 2 weeks. So guys were just throwing and
tossing them in.
Yeah. So
dude, how do you?
Zach's gonna teach me how to handle this.
Hey, you. Come a little closer. Come a little closer. Just a little bit closer. Subscribe to the channel now.
All right, let's get into it. We got the two guys here who are in, I think, maybe one of the most anticipated movies of the year. It's got nothing but glowing reviews from everybody. The Iron Claw. We'll get into the movie because it is, you know, there's so much that's very serious and kind of dark and obviously tragic. But that aside, doing a movie like this with the fellas, where you guys just got to get all jacked and hop in the wrestling ring and just like hang out with your boys and all that. How much is that fun, or is it? I mean, I'd imagine it's also a lot of work.
It was fun, man.
Yeah. It was really fun, man. It was a great experience. It's, you know, there's the moment when like a great director like Sean Durkin comes up to you and tells you he's got, you know, a really special script, and then also kind of at the same time drops the bomb that it's in the world of professional wrestling. And, you know, that's a pretty vulnerable position to be in physically. Yeah. Sometimes you're like, I don't know, there's some glaring differences between the Von Erichs, and I think
that's not true. I think Zach got pretty much the physique of Kevin Von Erich. I think the rest of us were reaching, but you know, we all did our best.
I'm sure you guys are both beefed up. Zach was on another level, bro. I mean, it's insane. You're a freak. You're a freak.
Yeah.
Well, that's like it's like the Super Bowl, for us, man. It's like I got to prep for 8 months for that. And yeah,
bro, you had a vascular chest. You looked like Logan. Like the very opening scene when you're getting out of bed, I was like, those veins in his fucking pecs. Where the hell did those come from?
I didn't know that was possible, to be honest.
What's cool is, you know, we have the benefit of before takes being able to kind of like pump up. And I mean, I think before all of our wrestlers.
That's true. We had a lot of weights around everywhere outside the trailers. Zach, you had an ice bath outside, and we would all do that during lunch. And
that became
nice, man. Yeah, it was a good setup.
Yeah, dude, I'm like rocking with anticipation, thinking about getting a quick pump in with the boys before a scene.
It's good motivation, man. If you ever want to get motivated to work out, you know, tell someone you're going to film an important wrestling.
Film you in your underwear. Yeah.
I'll write that down. If I want to get in shape, I'll get a massive movie to hire me. Wait, you actually just mentioned the underwear. I was wondering if I would venture to guess that in film history, this probably has the largest amount of briefs on scene on camera. Like not even counting the wrestling spandex, like briefs. We got a lot of briefs going around.
All briefs.
Was there any thought put into wardrobe where you're getting like your good dick briefs, your bad dick briefs? Because that we got those.
Everybody's got.
I asked. I remember for the wrestling stuff. I was like, do the real wrestlers, do they do something? Or are they just like on their own, or the deal? And everybody was like, they're on their own. And I was like, then we're on our own.
Jeremy got in the ring rock hard. He's like, this is how they do it? This is how everyone does it?
I think you can't help but have that moment. Do I slip something in here? Like, but, you know, we also want to make sure they stayed on during matches, too. That was one of the things that, like, there was no layer of protection under there. You know, it's like if those come off.
No.
You know, we got a real audience out there.
Yeah. It's a lot of real
who's the strongest? Who's got the best body? Who looks the best?
Well, no, it wasn't a question. So it wasn't. I don't think we ever got to that point.
Selling yourself short. You're acting like, you know, you didn't put in any work yourself. I saw you on set too.
I mean, I did. I ate more and I lifted stuff, but no, it's the truth. I think,
dude, you had a killer transformation, man. Yeah. It was wild. Yeah, one of the cool things in the movie is, you know, Jeremy's got these. I think you do it a couple times. He does these overhead push-ups from the ground.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like those are hard to do, man. Like I can't get many reps in those.
Yeah.
I was impressed, man. You blew out like 10, 15 in one take. And then again, when you were doing the cake stand.
Oh yeah.
I was there watching that scene, and like it was Lily and I, we had coverage, so the camera was watching us watch him, and you just kept going.
Yeah.
You just kept going. It was unreal.
I tried to do one of those once in college and fell right on my head and never tried again.
It doesn't usually end up with like result as you have.
Yeah, I had a lot of help too. Yeah.
You talked about the transformation, Zach. You even look like you run in the late 70s, early 80s. Like I don't know if it's because of the wardrobe, because of the setting, because of the hair. Like Jeremy, when you're leaving Olympic training and Zach, you're like going on your first run in like kind of the opening shot. I was like, those dudes look like people from the 70s running. I don't know why I thought that. I don't know if something happened.
Shorts that everybody had on all the time. I think there's some association that happens, and we definitely had a lot of that going on.
And the Rocky 3 cutoff shirt.
Oh yeah, we had little crop tops going on, which felt very Rocky, and
sure, look like you're from.
Well, I mean, all the stuff we had such a great wardrobe, hair and makeup department, but all the stuff was, I mean, legitimately, picked from like really old.
It was all vintage.
All vintage stores. So it was all legitimately old stuff, authentic.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you didn't grow up watching much wrestling, did you, Zach? Were you any of you guys coming in with like as a wrestling fan background? Because there's such a tragic side to it, but the wrestling world is so like fun and theatrical and ridiculous, and it depends on if you're coming in as a fan or not. Did you watch growing up?
A little bit. It wasn't really something my parents were stoked to have my little brother and I watch, because
that era was like, not safe for parents.
Yeah, I was I guess like, Hulk Hogan was around, and there was a little bit, I was aware of it, but not nearly as much as I am now. We've got a whole new appreciation for the rest of it now.
For sure. I mean, I think Harris, who plays David in the film, came in with he knew Chavo. He was aware of like that family and dynasty. Chavo's the guy who taught us everything that we kind of learned for all that ring stuff. And but yeah, I learned about professional wrestling through learning about the Von Erichs. Like they were kind of my introduction to the world. I mean, I was aware of like the big guys, but the most wrestling I've watched ever is the Von Erichs wrestling.
Yeah. We've watched a lot of tape, and then also since then have just, it's kind of expanded. We've seen a lot of the great matches. Chavo Guerrero was our coach for this, and man, he is a savage. Going back and watching his matches, he is just insane.
He's amazing. Yeah.
So we have a lot of respect for the sport now, and I think it's just getting better and better, man.
I'd imagine with a lot of wrestling fans who are going to go see this, like you guys get into WWE universe now, you're going to explode. I think fans will love you after this, no?
Man, I hope so.
We'll see. We worked real hard on the wrestling, man. It was, we cared about it a lot. The Von Erichs were like, they really kind of pioneers. They kind of revolutionized wrestling, and a lot of pro wrestlers tell us that. Like John Cena and I did a film together, and he found out that I was playing Kevin, and he was like, bro, these guys are my heroes. I worshiped them growing up. And
he came to the LA premiere. Did you see him after? I didn't see him after.
Yeah, I ran into him after.
Oh, nice. Do you like it?
He did.
He did?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was pretty
cool. That Kevin Von Erich said he liked it, right? And that was kind of your whole thing, Zach?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's pretty special to play somebody, still alive. And, it's in the back of your mind, or really the front of your mind the whole time that you're working, that they're going to see this eventually. And I mean, it doesn't always work out that they're pleased with the end result. Sometimes it can go the other way. But Kevin was over the moon. I think that meant so much to me. And yeah, that's everything, man. That's like a dream come true.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned last night on Seth Meyers that his kind of only wish was that you showed how close the brothers really were. What take on the dad? Because watching the movie, I thought he was imperfect, but I didn't really think he was a bad guy, right?
I think he believed. I think Fritz believed he was doing the right thing for his sons and for his family, and he did give them this gift of, like, you know, for a period of time they were on top of the world in this sport, and they did like revolutionize this sport. And I think without Fritz, they would have always been successful, but I don't know if they ever would have reached those heights.
Right.
And then, you know, the fall of the brothers that did fall, like, who knows, you know, who knows if they would have fallen, you know, but
yeah, you know, I think you can't fault your parents really ever for teaching you the ways that they know success and for grooming you to be the best. I think that there's a lot of people that can relate to that scenario, but these guys had it specifically tough in Fritz. He demanded perfection, and I think that's at some point that became the only real way that they could feel good about themselves was through his approval, in a sense. So
there were obviously scenes and times where you're like, oh, that's not perfect parenting, but the whole time until really Kerry's situation, I wasn't like, that's bad. Like, come on, you got to be a little better here, dude.
Yeah. I mean, he was I mean, he was driving them forward, and, you know, he was a motivator, and
yeah, and also Holt he's such a great actor, man. I think all of us just kind of naturally looked up to him.
Yeah.
And,
Dude.
We were seeking his approval the same way
it.
that the brothers might have been. Yeah.
Yeah. So it all felt real natural.
What was he promoting? He was promoting something, and he came on the show, and he was in person, and he's such like a looming figure. And I get exactly what you're saying, where I was like intimidated. I was like, I just want this guy to like me, please. And he's
Did you guys take a lot of bumps? Were you getting, like, was it the actual action done by you guys? Because I know that's something that, you know, the whole world is always like, wrestling's fake and it's not real and blah, blah, blah. And then anybody that's even been in a ring can tell you, you know, yeah, some things are fake. Like 99% of it is very real and very painful.
It's real, man. Yeah, that shit hurts. But I think, like, we got really lucky. We had these really amazing guys in the ring with us, these real professional wrestlers. So, like, we didn't get hurt with them. I think what hurt me the most was just, like, the ring itself.
Yeah.
Because, like,
right.
the ropes aren't ropes. It's like, you know, metal cable with a little bit of rubber. And the mat isn't really a mat. It's like plywood with springs and a really thin layer. So, like, when you're taking those bumps and you're coming off the ropes, that's painful.
Yeah. There's all of it is I mean, it's a lot of technique, and then, you know, a certain amount of just you got to try and kind of get your body used to it. But man, I remember the first time hitting the ropes, you know, just kind of trying to go back and forth on them. And the first day I was like, I don't know if I could do this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I could do this. I went like too low and didn't hit the rope with like my back, sort of the muscle. I hit it like right in my rib. And I was trying to walk it off for like 20 minutes, man. I didn't want to tell anyone. I didn't want to be a bitch, but
yeah, you get the win for you for sure.
Yeah. But that's one of the cool things about working with Chavo, man. Like, the more that we were interested in the wrestling and the more that we were committed to trying the new moves and to really doing it ourselves, the more that he opens up, and it's like I don't know. He feeds that like athlete in all of us, and by the end of it, we did all of it, man. We did all of it.
Yeah. I mean, we did. Yeah.
Jeremy, what do you think is the harder career, a WWF wrestler or running a restaurant in Chicago? What's more demanding?
I think both industries are pretty demanding. I think for me, the kitchen stuff will be more useful. I'm not looking for any trouble. I don't know how much I'm going to use this wrestling stuff in real life, but all that kitchen training, man, that's it's really amazing. I'm so grateful for that show for like putting me through what they put me through because that stuff I use every day. You know what I mean?
Do you really? Like you're that's part of your regular life now?
Yeah, I mean, I think I try to cook a meal every day. Around this time it's a little bit harder bouncing around so much. But yeah, I mean, as compared to my ability in the kitchen before the show, yeah, there's a big difference.
Man,
Is
I
the
can't wait to sit down for a meal that you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'd love to cook something for you.
you haven't cooked for Zach yet?
I haven't cooked for Zach yet. No.
When you do, Zach, you have to explicitly refer to him as chef the entire time. Nothing but chef.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just gonna pop in while you're training.
Yeah, you should.
That would be
I'm gonna go in January. I'm getting together with some chefs to prep for season 3, and I worked with this one guy, Chef Dave, at this restaurant Pas Julie in LA. That Zach knew really really well. So
Yeah, he won several James Beard awards.
yeah,
He's a
yeah.
fantastic
This spot
chef.
got a star, Michelin star.
Yeah. Great guy, Chicago guy.
Yeah.
And so like I know you're in the freaking best hands, man. I'm just gonna pop in and shadow you guys.
Yeah, you should, man.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the moment you come out and have to like present a dish and you're explaining like all the various ingredients and the cooking methods,
Yeah.
and you've got to say it to the table. I did that one time
Yeah, with Dave?
with
Yeah?
Dave
Oh,
at his
man.
restaurant, and I was shitting myself.
Yeah.
I got so nervous.
The pressure and anxiety is real in those places.
It really is, man.
Yeah.
You just got to get through it. I mean, I had as much nerves doing that as I did stepping into the ring.
That's wild.
Yeah, really.
Well, Zach, could Jeremy cook for you? Because I just read a Variety article on you where you met the writer at a restaurant, and I believe you brought your own duck bone broth. Was that a thing?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I mean, I stopped at a store on the way to the interview and got some bone broth, but I didn't realize it was duck bone broth. It's kind of weird. I didn't even realize. I thought it was beef bone broth. I didn't. Yeah.
Either way, bringing your own bone broth.
I mean, it's good for you, man. It's good for you.
I had a question, Jeremy. We have a coworker who's been arguing this year that Feast of the Seven Fishes is a Christmas movie. Thoughts?
For sure. Yeah. I think
dude.
Christmas. Yeah. Is it a Christmas like TV? Like, is it like correct for the holidays? Is that the question?
Well, that's debate. It's like, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Sometimes movies that happen during Christmas, but they're not truly Christmassy. Like what defines a Christmas movie is always the big debate. So this is the latest one. What do you think?
I think what you can do is like, yeah, you can watch Feast of the Seven, or you can watch Fishes, the episode on Christmas, and then it makes your family hopefully look, a little better, a little nicer. So you can give that gift to yourself, watch the Fishes, and everything's better.
What's your favorite?
Full hour and a half hour of television I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's an hour plus, something like that. But yeah, man, that episode was wild. We shot it fast. We got so many great actors to be a part of it, man. And yeah, it's tense. It's tense. I didn't have a family like that growing up, but I'm surprised at how many people have come up to me since the show came out, the second season, and told me my family was just like that. I was like, oh man, God bless you guys.
I was gonna say shit. That's
that kind of makes me think. Oh, when you guys are obviously nominated for everything all the time. Are you filming a comedy? Do you think when you're on set, like particularly that episode makes me think of it?
I don't know. I don't think I think in terms of like, are we making a drama or a comedy or anything like that? Like no matter what I'm doing. I think. The show has funny moments, and the show obviously has dramatic moments as well. I think that episode in particular has more dramatic moments, but also like the stuff with like the Fack brothers, with like Maddie and Rich, like I thought all that stuff was really funny. John Mulaney had some really great moments in that episode. Yeah, I don't know.
But the humor is all derived from the same place, man. Like it's the character work that's so brilliant.
Yeah. And also, like, I think some of those, like, incredibly sad moments to me are also kind of funny. Like, they're ridiculous. Like, they're so intense that it's almost like you have to laugh at it. Like the car coming through the house in the end. Like, it's hilarious. It's frightening, but it's hilarious,
It's shock humor.
Yeah.
I read a quote from you that kind of went viral not too long ago, Jeremy, when you were talking about your Marvel mishap, I guess we'll call it.
Sure.
Was that? I mean, everybody saw the headline, but was that really?
It wasn't exactly. Nobody said "fuck you" to me or anything like that. It was more like I think I came in with an attitude that was like, "What do you guys got?" And they were like, "Oh, we're not gonna like play this game with you, let's move on." And I was like, oh man, maybe I didn't come in with enough enthusiasm or something like that. Maybe I was feeling myself a little bit.
Was
too
this
much.
Disney or was this it?
It was like a meeting I had for like a Marvel sort of thing, and I think I was like, I don't know if I want to do that stuff. Like, tell me about your movie. Like, why should I do your movie? In my attitude, I don't think I didn't say those words.
You were asking the appropriate question.
Yeah, and then I think they were like, "Oh no, we're good without you," and I was like, "Oh okay, like
Then why'd you call me?
Yeah.
You were disappointed by it. You were disappointed that it kind of went that way.
I don't know. I mean, look, I don't think it's like my goal to do any sort of like superhero films or anything like that. I think it was just a lesson learned about like, kind of checking yourself before you go into any meeting, and making sure your attitude is right,
I read the quote kind of the other way, where I thought you were the one you were like, right. I think the quote was whether or not how you said it, but it was like right on. And I thought that was such a cool response where they were like, fuck you. And you're like, right on.
Right on.
Yep. Understand.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. I was like, fair enough. Yeah.
I'm just surprised that you weren't in the new version of Wonka with, your grandfather giving you a leg up.
Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I think Timothée Chalamet is so great, but I've definitely, people have been telling me, I look like Gene Wilder for a long time, which I do.
But he's not your grandpa.
No, but there's this like clickbait. There's this shit.
Moment there, Jeremy. We could have had him. Zach, we could have had him going, dude.
No. I was like,
wait a second.
I already knew he wasn't, but I can tell. You guys are kind of small on the screen. I couldn't tell if you're sincere.
You're busy.
There was a moment I saw that somewhere, and I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Like that. I thought you were.
It's right that you didn't believe it.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It is pretty funny.
That's
you guys
why
have a slight resemblance.
Yeah. I mean, I love that guy. If they ever remake Young Frankenstein, maybe they'll call me.
Okay. All right, let's put that out there. Jeremy Allen White says he's going to do the remake of Young Frankenstein. That'll be the headline.
There you go.
That's
Zach, you recently got the star. I can't believe you just got your star.
It is crazy, by the way. I thought that it must have been like some new fucking version of it, because I was like, he's just getting it now? What's going on, Hollywood? Get your shit together.
That's true. They gotta catch up, but they did, man. That was such a special day. I was there, and
it was awesome.
So nice, man.
So nice, dude. Thanks for speaking.
Yeah, of course, man. That was the easiest
thing
to do. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's one of those things you never like think is. I don't know. Maybe I forget. You forget about it, or don't really ever think it's going to happen to you, and then the day it does is pretty special, man. My whole family was out there.
The fans that were out there for this guy, I haven't seen this kind of thing. Like, this is like real movie star shit. Like, the street was filled with all of these people. It was really, really crazy, man.
Then
it was pretty special.
You've done like so much now, it's like you started when you were so young and you're doing, High School Musical and things of that nature. And then, you start to get older, and all of a sudden you look at like Zac Efron's resume and it's like, holy shit, man. And even I think, honestly, like we used to come out to our podcast used to start with The Greatest Show, like the soundtrack. Like we love, like there's so many amazing things that you did, but I think Down to Earth was one of like the best uses of like fame I've ever seen, where it was like, all right, I've been doing this shit. I'm famous now. I'm going to travel the world and just like experience everything. And I get to do that because of, all the hard work I put in. So that was amazing, man. I really think that was great.
I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, finding projects like that is, I think it's the only way. Yeah, you have to be doing something good, to go out and travel and investigate. And at the core of it, that showed it just, yeah, it feels real, man. I'm very curious about the world, about health and wellness, and about how we can, make the world a better place. So I don't know there's not much else that would be worthwhile to spend your off time doing it,
Yeah, man.
So I was proud of that one. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Well, hang on. I'm going to take you down a notch here. You said I'm small, so you can't really see me. I have behind me that awkward moment, the poster filmed by.
Yeah.
Dude, why didn't you go to the funeral? Like, on what planet would you not go to that funeral?
Yeah. Man, I don't know. That was just the writing.
I understand it wasn't your choice, but that character, man, it's you made a bond with the dad. You got to be at the funeral.
The party, you rocked out with your cocked out with the dad, and then you just don't even. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'll have to go talk to Tom Gormican, the director, about that.
Jeremy, you mentioned the star aspect of Zach and the streets being filled and all that. Would you say you're kind of the paparazzi king right now, though? Not between you and Zach. I mean, of the world.
You mean the what?
Paparazzi king of the world. I feel like paparazzi's on you all the time.
I don't think I'm the paparazzi king of the world. No.
I feel like every time I turn around, it's another picture. It's crazy, dude.
There's been I never experienced any of that stuff until very recently, and maybe it's just because it's new that they're following me around a little bit more than.
But you're doing it really well, man. You can tell it's not something you're out there seeking. It's like you can tell they're hiding in trash cans and shit.
Yeah.
Around. They know where I'm at. They know where I live.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
You should.
The one thing I don't think I could ever
iPhone and get a new one because they might be onto you.
The phone, you think?
Yeah, maybe
Friends trying to check my car for like a
definitely do that.
Definitely
do that, bro.
Yeah.
I was. This is like probably like 10 or 15 years ago. I pulled up at Chateau Marmont. I parked my car on the valet, and the valet guy goes, "Dude, what are these yours?" And he pulls out like, little kid cell phones that look like Tamagotchis.
Oh no!
Like have 4 buttons.
Yeah.
Or like
sure.
Mom,
Just
Dad. So they found a bunch of those in my car.
No shit.
And the battery lasts for like 2 weeks. So guys were just throwing them,
tossing them in.
Yeah. So
dude, how do you?
That's gonna teach me how to handle this shit.
How do you live like that? Like this, like feeling like someone's spying on you at all times. That's crazy.
It's interesting, man. Luckily, it's not that interesting outside of my work. And keeping things low profile, focusing on the work. Is all the things that you're already doing, man. Yeah, it doesn't make for that much. That interesting. Of
how long can they talk about? Yeah.
What are they going to talk about? You're hanging out, being yourself.
Yeah.
So you're doing it good, man. Just check
for those little Tamagotchi phones.
Check for those little. If they're popping up and you've like driven 3 hours, and there's no waiting to follow you.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, do a sweet.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Well, I'd say both of you guys are doing it right. You're both absolutely killing it. I think this movie is going to take everything to a whole other level too. So congrats to both you guys, and thank you for the time.
Hey, appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much, guys. It's a real pleasure.
Have a good one.
Be good, you guys.
All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Click that button.
Or I'll cut off my finger.